And welcome back, guys. We're here for OPL semi-final, number 2. Not quite at the final yet, just Rusty. But we are going to have a 4th game here. The Direwolves finally picking up game number 3 and going to force at least one more out of Legacy.
Yeah, we're going to have our 4th game coming up shortly. And what a game 3 to close us out on, to really make this a series. You can feel the hype starting to mount right now. The pressure starting to build for both teams.
And look, given the way the series has gone, I feel like that's good for Direwolves, at least for this game. Because they must have felt like, well, it can't get worse, given like how it started.
Mentality-wise, that game was a big boost for the Direwolves. They were down 0-2. They were in the pits, essentially, and they were being run around the map pretty much from the very start of this series. They get some strength back into their system. They work around strengths in terms of drafting as well, something that has suited the Direwolves a lot better in that last game. And now they may have the momentum coming into this 4th game.
I think so as well. And Legacy, they are an emotional side. They have a lot of experience in very high-pressure situations, but players like Claire, players like Minky, even Carbon can get to them sometimes as well. So they have to readjust. Keep playing the way you're playing for the most part, because they've been playing amazingly so far in this series. But both teams, I feel like, are going to start making more adjustments. And if any game's going to be super close, it might actually be game 4.
It's difficult to say what would even happen in this game, which is why it most likely will be so close. But Legacy, they've put a strategy into effect. They've won 2 games with that strategy. They did well in the 3rd. Direwolves seem to have found their comfort, though, in response to the strategy. They just want to get to 20 minutes and not lose the game. It's exactly what we saw from them. And I think this game, a big factor in who is actually going to come out ahead in this game, I think it comes down to drafting.
Yeah, absolutely. Legacy's drafts have been spot on all season long, not even just not even just in this series. And the Direwolves have been all over the place. King was playing Cogmore. There was Sybil's playing Italy. These are fine players on champions that they can play, but it just seems so different. So what changes here, I guess? We finally saw a change with the Ezreal getting banned and the Sivir getting taken away from Tally because they couldn't ban it. Now we're going to ban the Rumble again. We're going to have the Ezreal banned once more, so nothing much has changed just yet here, Rusty.
I guess the important part to note here is that Direwolves are not first pick. If they leave the Sivir open again, it's going to be taken away by Legacy, you would assume, because of how much of an impact King had on that champion. How he can sit in the front line and have a safety and a spell shield to actually allow him to put the damage down. It's exactly what we saw in that last game. Something that will probably want to be considered here by Direwolves in particular.
Well, they've banned Sivir in a lot of the games where they didn't pick it, so that would make a lot of sense as their final ban. Alistar was the 2nd ban for the Direwolves again, so they'll stick to that at least. And Legacy are the ones that ban Sivir away, which I assume mean the Direwolves are banning Ryze.
Yeah, which I guess says that there's a lot of possibilities that aren't Sivir for what they actually want to first pick. They most likely want to prioritize that Rek'Sai if I had to choose again. Carbon has been doing work. He's been putting in time on that champion. And so maybe forcing them out of the opportunity or having to pick the Sivir alleviates that pressure.
I think if they ban Ryze, I think Legacy are going to first pick Maokai.
Maokai?
Yeah, that's what I think is going to... That would be cool. I think that would make sense, given that Sharp's shown a lot of comfort. Minky can play against it, but it's just been such a big pick for them.
There are arguments for and against that fact. Of course, Taliwaka defaulting to the Corki, but...
Never mind.
We forgot one.
Forgot that one was open. Hi, Callista. How are you?
I forgot that's still a champion.
Back into a drafter. Yeah, 513. Still good.
It's still a champion. Been banned so much. Every game so far except this one, I think it was. Or was it
yes, that's true. Yeah. No. It's been banned.
Yeah.
You don't want either of these AD carries to play that champion, but the Direwolves, Maokai Rek'Sai stealing away that pick from Legacy.
Both champions that we said that Legacy should first pick.
Yep.
We forewent the fact that there was a Callista in the game. They've now picked up both of them. Direwolves, very smart response to the drafting here of Legacy, but the one thing that needs to be considered is that Callista can always carry if Callista gets ahead.
Yep, and Taliwaka is an excellent Callista player. And Flying Dew is a great support player. So you kind of get to benefit 2 strong players on your team this way, which is always nice to see. Is Claire making me happy, hovering high midinger. I can't imagine that's what we'll be seeing. I wonder where Legacy wants to go with their other choice. Do they take a support here? Maybe they take Nautilus away from Nada.
I'm thinking
lots of options. Yeah, we saw the Nunu
nice.
flashed as well. Could be a pickup here. Carbon's going to look at it a little bit longer. Claire's going to taunt me forever. I'm going to get 5 seconds left. Yeah, Thresh Nunu. Keep it simple for Legacy, honestly.
How could we forget the Thresh Callista combo? Something you don't often get used to seeing. Of course, we're not used to seeing a Kalista at all. They've got the Thresh, the auto-attack damage. They're looking for champions to fight pretty much constantly. They've got level 1 advantages. That advantage carries through to every single level in the game just because they're a Thresh and a Kalista combo. They can save each other. They can throw each other in, essentially, and engage. It's just a very versatile comp. They've got the Nunu to boost that, so they've got a lot of zone control now between the box and the Absolute Zero.
Yep. Great first 3 picks here for Legacy, but the Direwolves looking to answer back here. Seems like Perfection might be the one getting the counter pick. That makes plenty of sense. I like what Direwolves are hovering, but Legacy have certainly got comfort back in. It's nice to see Carbon back on Nunu as well.
Yeah, working a lot more around the vision control. Something that he was doing so avidly on Rek'Sai is just as doable on Nunu. Just because Carbon can get in their face, place down that vision, it's just a lot harder for him to actually get ganks off. Yep. That is something that will be sorely missed.
Yes, and Sybil will be able to exert pressure with the Rek'Sai, but the Dials have gone with the Nautilus Tristana. This is the response we probably expected, because there is no bigger way to say screw you to Kalista than probably with this duo.
Yeah, for sure. The fact that you've got the guaranteed knock-up as well from the Nautilus, the Tristana is quite good at trading, very good at matching the trade up until about 4 auto attacks, but that's when it starts to become a little bit scary. Not necessarily a situation you want to be in unless you've got direct kill pressure. So very, very nice decisions here. It's nice to see King back on what's weird to say is a comfort champion on Tristana.
Ooh, I like this pick away a lot, though. We forgot to mention this. Hecarim going to be the pickup here for Minky. But Chloe is a Twisted Fate player as well. It was actually a contested pick between these two players.
While we're talking about who plays Twisted Fate, let's talk about who counters Twisted Fate.
That guy.
Let's keep in mind Perfection being basically a Twisted Fate main. Knows exactly what ruins Twisted Fate's day.
And he did this to, I think, Midbeast from Absolute in one of the last games of the Dial season.
Yeah.
Just tore Midbeast a new one on Fizz, who, like you said, is a good counter pick there to Twisted Fate. Not sure if this is what he wants to lock in. It would be nice. You can kind of see him there.
He's done it.
Nods to his teammate, says, give me the Fizz. He's going to get it here. And finally, the aggression is in Perfection's hands in this lane.
It definitely is. You can see Claire instantly switching to the exhaust.
Yep.
Wants nothing to do with this lane.
Nope.
I'm surprised he's not the one taking the initiative and going for a teleport, just admitting the fact that lane is impossible and he wants to be everywhere but that. But in saying that, you look at Legacy's team comp, it is still very strong. We don't just exclusively count the mid lane. The top lane does well.
Yep. Top lane's great with Nunu
Bot lane
there as
does well.
Yep. I mean, you want to talk about scaling. We talk about Legacy as always being that good late game team. And the Dials are back to playing a team that suits their style again, so that's nice to see.
Yeah.
But as far as 30-minute plus teams go, you can't ask for too much more. If they could have been given Azir somehow, that's the only thing Legacy would probably change in this draft.
Yeah, so they've got a very good scaling team comp. They've got exactly what they're looking for. They're comfortable, but so are the Direwolves. Both teams are very comfortable right now with their respective champions, looking to utilize these strengths. They've got momentum here now. Both teams, Legacy have 2 wins. Direwolves have just come off the back of a win, so they're feeling good. You can see that Fizz pick is a confidence pick to win lane.
Yep, and that's Perfection saying, you know what? You're going to take my man against me. I'm going to take Fizz into you. So, very interesting game number 4 draft here. But, of course, get on Twitter. Use the hashtags LGC win for Legacy if you're cheering for them, or hashtag DW win for the Direwolves.
Yeah, it's going to be a very big game here. We're moving into game 4 as well. If Legacy win, they're through. But Direwolves, they've got that win. They've got the momentum now on their side. They're looking very strong. They've got King on Tristana. What more could you say?
Yeah, been started the series 0-2, but have got counter picks across the lanes here with probably the exception of Sharp. But things must feel good for the Dials if they're going to win this game and force the 5th game. They need to hit early and hit often. The Dials, if you are going to come out and play and really get aggressive, this is the game to do it in.
100%. We'll see if Direwolves can make that happen. The Kalista, if it goes off, can very easily carry a game through. Legacy being very cute, though, and sitting in a bush.
Yeah, maybe expecting the Direwolves to walk through, but they're actually doing so on the other side of the jungle, so not going to see them there in that brush. Yeah. And this means the vision's fairly shallow for Legacy.
It is quite shallow, and it's very specific to one area. It says to me that they know Direwolves are going to invade, and instead of thinning out their numbers to get vision everywhere, they've exclusively just sat in one area with the bare minimum of vision. They're probably going to translate this into somewhere else if they're looking to stop Direwolves from invading, or they will just admit the fact that they know they're going to lose their buffs and then just do vertical jungle.
Well, as it turns out, the Direwolves do get some deep wards down, so I think they're looking for the lane swap here. I'm not sure if King wants the 2v2 or wants the 2v1, but in either situation, Tristana's actually quite good.
Tristana's very good at pushing down turrets. She's also very good at fighting, but it's difficult to fight against the Thresh and Kalista, who, by the way, are the ones putting this swap into effect.
Yep, seems like King actually walking down to the bottom side. So with Legacy in the top, Dials will get the 2v1. Look for those turrets to drop fairly quickly.
Look at where the Nunu and the Hecarim are right now. Trying to find vision of the AD carry and support duo at the Krugs. They've now gone to that red buff. They're going to start there, probably go from there to the blue. Hecarim is just one of those champions that excels at jungling with a Nunu.
Yep, and no smite here from InQL. Does have the Ignite for the more aggressive choice. But you can see the Dial start off that jungle. Sharp going to once again be double jungling with Sybil. But King's going to get a nice free lane to himself. As we line up, we set a counter matchup here for Perfection. When does the lane actually start tipping here, Rusty? Because it's certainly not level 1.
So about level 3, when Fizz does find a lot of the strengths, is of course having every single spell available. You can outplay the cards with your Playful Trickster. Does do a lot of work for you in direct capabilities of winning a fight. But up until about level 6 is when Twisted Fate is fine. And once level 6 connects, all it takes is the fish to connect and you're done.
And kind of like we saw, like you said, Claire's sort of famous for like hiding in brushes trying to kill people. Especially with someone like Twisted Fate. Like, we saw it on Ezreal. He was able to pressure them enough to prevent Perfection from teleporting out. That's going to be exactly what Perfection wants to do here. As soon as he sees Claire try and leave the lane, just hunt him down.
Yeah, completely. It's going to be trying to deny the Twisted Fate from making anything happen. Claire is going to have to be a little bit more careful about the way that he does play this to ensure that everything goes to plan. Until then, though, we look at this laning phase and we see Claire's not necessarily having the best of times, but he's comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly would have played this matchup quite a bit. Perfection will have as well, so two highly skilled mid laners going at each other here. Claire, once upon a time, was a famed assassin player in the region, so like we said, these players will have this matchup probably on repeat.
Definitely. They know what they're doing and they know how to play against each other's respective champions. Perfection, we've seen him play Twisted Fate already in this best of 5. Claire has played it in the Challenger Series and he knows how to deal with it.
Yeah, Perfection, they're getting aggressive flashes forward. They want Claire, they've got the knock-up and he's dead. First blood goes to Fizz.
Claire smartly not using a summoner, but this is deja vu of that last game. The fact that Legacy aren't putting all of their emphasis mid is a different change for once. Perfection on that Fizz, actually getting the first kill as well. This is exactly what they would be looking for here, Dials.
And the Dials went late to this buff to level 2 gank that mid lane effectively. So Legacy are going to try and answer with a turret. Sybil does get the red buff, but Legacy should get the first turret. Dials are trying, but Tristana doesn't push that quickly.
They've got a long way to go before getting the turret. In fact, if Legacy's bot lane wants to recall and actually get to the bot lane, the turret may not even be down in time.
Well, they're going to try it here. 3 members committed here. King will put the explosive charge down, yeah. 4 people here with Sybil doing the Krugs, taking a bit more of Legacy's jungle. And they are going to be able to get the turret. This wave should be big enough.
They're trying to let some of the minions die. You can see King has stopped attacking it a bit, but there's still such a big minion stack. Funnily enough, if Direwolves don't reset this wave, it's probably going to end up happening that Legacy can freeze it.
Yep, and you can see Flying Jew. What does he want to do with the wave? Hits the first one down. Yep. Yeah, he does. Perfection. Aggression back in here onto Claire, but Carbon's joining in. Exhaustor's used, though. Snowball's down as well. There's the stun guard. Perfection does not have his E available. Carbon's going to keep chasing him.
And
does get up to the last one. Won't get slowed by that snowball. But a long way to go, Perfection. Really far from home. No wolf camp to try and queue through. Snowball goes down again. And this is every Nunu gank.
It's not a great place to be.
1 second left. Nope, does go down, but doesn't give an assist to TF.
That's important. That is really important. But in saying that, Claire is still going to be able to farm the mid lane, get some experience as well. He's just hit that level 4. He's going to be able to match the strengths that Perfection has, but of course not getting the assist that hurts him.
I did notice in the mid lane. He was like, yeah, I'll collect some farm. Sharp and Sybil trying to keep Tallywhacker and Flying Dew off this next turret. Kalista after a nice start here, but King double Torrent's Blade. It's actually in the top lane fighting Minky.
Yeah, the aggressive decision from King, of course, getting 2 of the early game items to combat what is the natural strength of a Hecarim. So just trying to match him in the laning phase, seemingly looking to be there by himself, whilst Nardo, which is why he was mid lane, of course, and try and get some turrets down just by pressuring Minky under the turret. In saying that, you've got the Thresh and the Kalista in bot lane trying their best to do the same.
Oh, Minky gets grabbed there. Nada going aggressive. King gets some hits down.
That was a great hook right there.
Yeah.
Actually, finding him was unbelievable. But saying that, now that there are 2 people here, the pushing power is kind of matched. But you look at Legacy's bot lane, they're against nobody at the moment, whereas Direwolves, they've got numbers top.
And Sharp is in top lane. Yeah.
Sacrificing a trade, basically. If they find Minky, it's an added bonus to the trade. King's very good at actually ensuring that he does get the kills. But they are here now. They've got 3 members. They're looking for this.
Well, they're going to have to at least trade turrets here, as Legacy will get this one on the next wave. Perfection can also pressure Claire out, and of course, not level 6 yet, so just Fate going to take a while to get back. Good harass there as well. Sheen actually finished up for Perfection. Means that he can get aggressive, but Sharp, who's now just in the top lane helping push, Nada going to go back walking.
Yeah, and the fact that the exhaust was used mid from Claire to ensure that Nunu could catch up is actually really bad for him until that is available again. Because the second Perfection hits 6, he can die pretty much in one combo.
Yep, and Claire knows it. He's going to try and keep safe here. Got a quick Null Magic Mantle and 2 Doran's Rings. That's about as safe as it comes.
Yeah, he's most likely going to go towards that Athene's Unholy Grail Death Cap route in terms of itemization to ensure he still does damage, but doesn't die in laning.
How close is Perfection to 6? Might have enough to all-in Claire.
He's about 2 waves off.
Yeah, a little too far off there, about 50% of the way through. So Nada, who's again looking for another gank, just going to back away and walk towards the bottom side.
Claire's done a really good job of ensuring Perfection cannot directly kill him. The itemization is going to help in that respect, but Legacy, they've slowed the game down. They're not playing the usual games that we're used to seeing them in this best of 5 series. They've changed up their style. They're going back to what is comfortable for them to kind of just beat Direwolves at their own game this time instead of forcing a play style.
Yep, they got a dragon as well, so they are up there as far as advantages go. Actually have about 400 gold ahead as well, so things looking good. But they really do just need to scale here as Claire stays safe. I like that Carbon's, sorry, that's Flying Jew actually showing himself there in the mid lane just to babysit the lane a little bit. As long as Tallywhacker and Minky get space, that's about all Legacy can ask for in the early game.
It's fantastic. Their scaling is still very high. Of course, Minky Whale being on that Hecarim is a big factor for them. It's something that has given Sharp nightmares in the past and does need to be mentioned. He was the sole carrier of these guys during Split 2 when they took on the Direwolves.
Blue buff still here as well. Going to go to Claire. Flying Jew looks for a hook, does not line it up there onto King. But all of a sudden, Legacy seem like they're a bit further ahead than we might have seen. And you mentioned Nightmares. I think Sharp's going to start having them again. He is 2 levels behind and 35 CS.
We're finding ourselves in a recurring nightmare, which is why there are 3 members of Direwolves seemingly going towards that top lane to try and catch Minky.
There's no tower here.
No.
Not a bad spot to look for a gank. Minky's going to pop. They are going to Destiny in. They've actually will have spotted Perfection as well. Sybil going to get chunked in. Minky's going to use his ulti. Sharp will dive back in. Good exhaust there from Claire. Keeps Minky well safe and Perfection down. But Perfection still chasing. He hasn't got the kill. Carbon's here as well. He's going to snowball and he's going to try and get in there. The double comes in. Sharp flashes forward. Legacy reads it and gets a triple.
Perfection running out of mana, has no summoner spells available. Sharp, as we mentioned, behind in levels by so many that he cannot be impactful in that fight. It started off really well. They actually knocked him. They knocked the Hecarim, who had the fish on top of him, into Claire. This is where I thought it was going to go bad for Legacy. But in saying that, they didn't get it.
Yeah, ganking Claire as well. He's got hooked up and the shutdown goes to King, gets the reset just in time, and he's got double buffs.
Yeah, that is fantastic timing for them. Claire overstaying his welcome, but he did find 3 kills, so his next buy is still going to be big. In saying that, though, it's nice of them to get the trade. King getting a kill is massive for them. He's down 20 CS, but it's now even.
And to think all that started and went wrong because Legacy decided to steal the Dial's blue buff.
Yeah, that was a very long progression of a series of unfortunate events.
And as it turns out, a couple trades here and there. Legacy find themselves up about 2,000 gold. But King with a BF sword and double buffs is a scary thing.
That was a whole item from a Null Magic
Abyssal
Mantle.
Scepter, ready to go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Perfection's not going to have a very easy time killing Claire anymore.
And
he has Exhaust and an Abyssal.
And that sounds great for Claire and really not good for Perfection. He's going to take the counter pick once again, but find himself in a fairly tricky situation. In fact, right now, kind of in a leave the lane, King's going to come to take over, and I think is actually the right person to put in this lane.
Yeah, it's actually not bad, but meanwhile, of course, something that we mentioned, Tally has a CS advantage. It's starting to grow. He has been sitting in bot lane, completely uncontested, essentially.
Oh, hook lands there as well. Flying Jew going to be the target. Got a nice hook to start things off, but King is hungry for turrets right now.
Yeah, they're looking to siege down, get some global gold for everybody. The top lane, we spoke about Nightmares. He's not having the best time. Look at the CS discrepancy between the two as well. Pretty rough here. The fact that mid lane, in what is a counter pick now, has the Abyssal Scepter. 3 kills and a 10 CS advantage. And then the top lane is 30 CS down. The AD carries a 30 CS down. Pretty rough start for Direwolves.
Yeah, King's been the biggest one for me. Even though we got a nice gift from that kill there, managing to kill clear and getting the double buffs. The fact that he's been moving around so many lanes just to try and push down towers means he's fallen horribly far behind Tally. He's 40 CS down.
And an entire Bloodthirster.
Oh, yeah.
Completed for Tallywhacker, just to add insult to injury, essentially. But this is more so the fact that Direwolves, they feel like they need to make plays. It has been constantly happening in their games. But Legacy have changed their draft to almost take that into account. They've almost factored that into the way that they've gone for the Twisted Fate. They've picked up the Heck Room onto Minkwell as well. And then they've got a very self-sufficient bot lane that can do as they please. They've left Tally to his own devices, and that's exactly what they want. This game, at least right now, is playing into the hands of Legacy.
It is. Minky's getting farm as well. This actually might kill King here. Nada going to get the ulti down. The King does not have enough to try and fight. Minky has his ultimate King. You have to be careful, my friend, as Legacy are going to get the mid lane outer.
Yeah, it was a zoning. Oh my god.
Forcing the ulti by flashing. Nada going to try and lock him down. Sybil's here as well. King's now going to try and kite around. Minky might get the kill. Buster shot's nice. And King will get himself a kill.
They pick up a kill, they lose a turret.
Oh, perfection though. Now the next target. Does Playful Trickster up, but Drew's going to get him with the Ignite.
Yeah, managing to do quite well in ensuring the fact that Claire didn't get the kill twice in a row at the very least is perfection. But Legacy, they've made a trade, and then they've made more from that trade. They not only got the mid-turret, they evened out the kill trades, and they're getting a second.
It's been the same story all series long, Rusty. Legacy definitely have the advantage as far as map pressure and strategic movements go, but the Direwolves, they managed to brute force down game number 3. Can they do it here? Unfortunately for them, this I think is the furthest behind they've been at this point. Even more so than game 1. They are 4,000 gold behind already.
It does feel like a bit of finesse versus force in terms of the play styles at the moment. But in saying that, Direwolves, they are very good at forcing things. They've got a very confident team fighting to back their skills up. Their mechanics are needing to be respected by Legacy. But as you said, the gold lead, TF even ulting out of the Dragon Pit.
Right now, they just don't have items. They're actually looking to chase for a kill. Nada doesn't have his ult. Going to flash there for the snare. King going to go in for the dunk. Knock up there for Sybil. That kill will go to Tristana.
Which is great. Now 3 kills on King. If anyone can carry these guys, something that we have mentioned multiple times, it is going to be this Tristana. The Fizz, funnily enough, similar to Orianna in the way that he's always going to be relevant, assuming the fish connects. More important than Orianna, in fact, to be honest with you, is that that fish has to connect.
Yep, you can't shield your teammates.
So. Oh, you can't miss that fish. So.
No.
I mean, Direwolves, they're still finding picks. It's 5 to 4 in kills, so everything's still favoring Legacy. But all in all, they're actually not too bad.
No, and actually, Direwolves will get a tower out of it as well. Nice little movement. Sort of the first finesse play there from Direwolves. Gets themselves a turret. All of a sudden, going to open up the map a bit more and give, crucially, the rest of Direwolves a bit of needed gold here. Now about 2,500 gold behind or so. So starting to sort of slim that lead a little more.
Yeah, so Boots 2 completed for the Kalista now as well. That's massive, because what was essentially a split-pushing Bloodthirster Kalista is now entirely capable of team fighting and is able to run around team fights and skirmishes and be able to carry the team through. Ooh, nice hook.
Yeah, Sybil gets flayed and hooked there by Flying Jew, trying to get out of here. Good invade on the red buff there. Sybil actually flashed as Minky's going to chase him down, gets to the tower safely. But Legacy going to continue arresting control of Direwolves jungle.
And you can see the second Kalista arrives, Thresh being very aggressive. The rest of the side arrive to ensure that Sybil does need to retreat. And now they're starting to push, or attempting to push, a strength.
Yep, top lane now. Carbon going to put the Blood Boil down. Sharp will clear out what he can. Stun though lands onto Claire. Ultimate there onto Flying Jew by Nada just to disengage. Fish lands.
Okay.
It's just a disengaged fish. Perfection does have blue buff.
Zoning fish.
It is a zoning fish.
Doesn't actually do anything, but the fish is on cooldown now. Legacy have found themselves with a window.
Yep, better than getting dived, probably in the minds of Direwolves, but you have to be careful. King actually getting farm mid again. Now I'm going to come up and respond. He does need to be here to help wave clear. And the Dials are posturing to get a kill here.
Nice lantern usage.
And actually Legacy will back away.
Legacy are being very slow and calculated in their decisions. Minky needs to go, but he has the teleport available if need be. So he's happy to recall. Nada doesn't have his ultimate. Fizz on Perfection does not have his ultimate. So Legacy was safe. They were able to posture around. They may use that pink as a bait as well. Oh, the teleport.
Going back in. Minky's found his way here. Sybil going to get stunned up. And Tallybacker gets himself a kill. Now Perfection going to get dived. But the ulti out from Claire's going to flank him. He wants King, but he gets busted shot back into the tower. Exhaust is down. Perfection trying to kite off different people. Nada now caught out between the rest of Legacy. He'll fall as well. But Perfection going aggressive. Wanted Claire, but the fish got blocked.
The fish again not finding the targets. Tallywacker actually flashing over that wall to ensure that Ju, who he had picked up, will be able to knock them up. The combo between Legacy right now, and most importantly, the fact that Minky Whale's teleport cancelled the tunnel system from Rek'Sai and kept him on the other side of the wall, the death side of the wall essentially, is what allowed Legacy to make the confidence play then of following that up.
Strong play there indeed. As 4,000 golds, now the lead back for Legacy. They've managed to get themselves a bit more of a foothold in this game. But as it stands, still looking for the next few items. Maybe thinking about a major buff as well. Dragon not up yet, and Baron spawning in 3 minutes means they're going to have a bit more time to see where this game's going to go. And Dials are getting towards their first items. King has his Infinity Edge. Perfection will be close to that Lich Bane. And once again, Sharp, sort of the unsung hero of this game, just has that right to scoring nice and easily on Maokai.
Yeah, he's been performing quite well. He's just not necessarily the talking point of either of the teams. But you look at Minky Whale on this top Heck room, and he's starting to become a very big talking point. Thankfully for the Direwolves, Sharp does have his important item for team fighting.
Yep, Righteous Glory good to go. Maokai a one-item wonder in that respect, so looking good there. Minute 30 though to Dragon. It's Carbon clears out some vision with the help of Flying Dew. This is one thing this duo do excellently together. And Tally also working in on that second item. Runan's Hurricane is not far away. So Legacy, a couple minutes time, going to hit those first big power spikes.
Definitely not far away now. Once that Hurricane is completed, of course, Kallista's team fighting just goes through the roof. It skyrockets in her capabilities and her potential. They're going for Perfection.
Oh, Perfection has to get outplayed, though. Hooked as well.
Nice hook.
Not quite in the tower. Carbon's going to pop his ulti. Fish will cancel it, and he gets out just in time.
Tally with a very cute player there, trying to make a pick himself, but a nice rotation again, Legacy. You can see their vision control on the mini-map to at least allow them to walk through there safely where they know they're not going to get picked themselves. They get another turret.
Yeah, the Direwolves just don't have vision of all these plays. There are like 6 blue wards here for Legacy, and Flying Dew's continuing to sweep out vision here with the help of Carbon. We've talked about it all series long. The Direwolves are certainly struggling to keep up with Legacy strategically. And right now they're just being like, you know what? Let's just keep not fighting you for as long as we can, because that didn't go quite that well last game.
Yeah, they're looking for a period of time where item spikes come through and allows them. But Legacy in a death bush, they're not moving.
Nice scout though. Sybil with a nice intuition. Gonna spot them, but Dragon's up in 5 seconds. Dials are not here to contest this.
That would have been very scary for them. Tristana and Maokai behind. They're at the very back. If they can get here in time, it's going to be unlikely, but they can fight.
Nada's here. Sybil might look for a steal at least. Goes in for it, doesn't get it. And Claire might just ult and look for a pick, but the Dials are chasing. They pop Righteous Glory. They've caught Minky. They're going to go in on top of him. Perfection needs to dive in as Sybil gets the kill. Fish lands onto Claire. Sharp gets exhausted in the front lines, but Flying Dew, oh my god, Claire evaporates there as Tally's going to be the next target, and Sharp will die. But the Direwolves move in, they smite Flying Dew for a slow, and they just do not stop.
An over-aggressive decision again, Legacy, looking for that dragon. They do get the dragon. They've got 3 of them now, which is fantastic. But Carbon was out of mana since the second they took that dragon. There was no way for them to fight. Nada connects this amazing hook right here and allows the rest of the team to kill Minky instantly. He's not tanky yet. He's going towards that Trinity Force. The fish hitting Claire. He only has the blue card available. And then Tallywacker has been exhausted every single time.
Oh, Claire coming in though. Trying to defend that tier 2 turret. Nada is low. Sybil tunnels out, says, see you, mate. Sorry, Nada, can't help you. And that will be a kill answered back there. Dials do not get the mid turret.
They don't get the turret. The kill has been answered. This is Legacy, and this is Twisted Fate as well. Finding a moment of strength. The fact that you can die be back there in time to help the rest of your team deny any pushes. Legacy in these Hero Barons.
Another Hero Baron, yeah, but Perfection bought Home Guard boots. They know this is happening. Sybil's got a really good idea. Sharp's going to throw a sapling over. King's in mid lane. But the Direwolves might just force something here. The Baron's getting low. They will get it. Direwolves lose another Baron. They can't. King's not here. He's finally arrived.
No,
Pop the Righteous Glory. Flying Jew flashes immediately. Claire's gone off to the side, though. Legacy, how'd you get away with that?
He's out. Tally's got to get to the
lantern. Oh, no! Gets knocked back by the fish! Will die to Sharp. Now King's going to go for the reset. He's got red buff. Not enough, though.
Yeah, that's not too bad, though. All things considered, only Tallywhacker going down. Direwolves have got a period of time here. They've got a window where they can maybe go for some objectives. If they can get this top turret down, not too bad. It's going to be difficult to do.
Oh my god, Sharp going aggressive. They want Carbon. They're going to die for it. Perfection's going straight in, but risky. Claire just destroys Sharp and the Direwolves. Maybe bit off a little too much there. Perfection will get stunned and knocked back. He'll playful Trickster away. Minky almost has his ulti. Finally uses it. Just gets the fear.
King, you're
and cleans Perfection off the Rift. King cannot live through that. Gets the shutdown. Minky pockets about 800 gold.
Fantastic fighting right there from Legacy. The fact that Direwolves feel so pressured, this is something that we talk about time and time again. When Perfection feels pressured, he makes mistakes. But when Direwolves as a team feel pressured, they make unanimous decisions that are incorrect. And right there, the dive was a big error. What more can you even say about that fact? The fact that they actually did dive, I don't know, I have questions.
I'm sure Direwolves do as well, but Legacy will take it. Get a tower for their trouble as well. 6-3 now in turrets, 3-0 up in Dragons, and about 6,500 gold ahead for Legacy. Direwolves forcing a few too many fights, you have to think here, and unfortunately for them, they're playing the map surprisingly well, like much better than they have been in the last few games, but they're going to run out of objectives here because Legacy are so far ahead as far as total objective control goes.
It's crazy to consider that one fight in the top lane has almost dictated the rest of this game. A Twisted Fate against the Fizz in a counter matchup now finds Claire with 40 CS in advantage, 4 kills, and the global gold of having 6-3 in turrets is just starting to mount against this side. The Fizz, no, not able to have an impact.
No, not yet. Perfection's even a level behind still. Was 2 levels just before, only now hits level 11. So Claire's done a great job getting stronger and stronger.
I like that you can mount, or you can kind of take a test of how fed a TF is by how he wave clears.
Yep.
If your cards kill the back wave without actually having to hit them once, then you know you're massive. He's so close to that point, not quite there.
Getting pretty big though. Pops his ulti, he's found Sharp. Going to dive in, Sharp pops his Righteous Glory to run away. But he's going to find Carbon now as well. Pops his ultimate. Carbon will do the same. Doesn't quite cancel it. Damage is good. And there's a nice pick for Legacy.
Yeah, did very well there. Claire just pressing the button. It's good that we're watching mid. We might have missed that fact. Yeah. He was so aggressive with that decision making.
Went straight in onto Sharp. So a nice pick there for Legacy. What can they get out of it? Doesn't seem like too much.
Bot farm, yay. Yeah,
going to collect the waves, push them back out, and go straight to that dragon. Legacy kind of getting control back of all parts of the Rift now.
The big point, of course, 3-0 in Dragons, most likely going to be the closeout condition that Legacy are trying to achieve. An uncontested dragon from here on out will find them at that 5th dragon very quickly in this game, at a point where maybe there's no way for Direwolves to contest, but they need to recall now. Direwolves have got a window to place vision, but they just can't.
And King's actually taking some time to farm. It's actually a good window for him to do this, so going to collect a nice big chunk of CS and go back. Probably at least has the Phantom Dancer. Might have a bit more, but just looks like a couple of extra potions. Behind Tallywhacker, to say the least, there are items despite the CS lead.
Yeah, so he's done well to actually even out the CS lead, but you might question whether he's been farming too much and not actually grouping enough, because there's been periods in time where Direwolves are looking to catch people out, but he's just sitting farming. So, I mean, they've done well to bridge the gap between them. Tally was 40-odd CS ahead at one stage, so I guess the big difference is Tally has just gone full king in this game.
Yep.
And then he's hit the 20-minute mark and said, all right, time to kill everyone.
And that's what Tally's looking to do. We're going to have a team fight around this dragon by the looks of things. Minky Whale's got his ult, got his teleport. Dragon through spawning. Minky will teleport in and be ready.
Snowballs. They just feel not impactful, but then they slow for so much.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this doesn't do damage. It's like, doesn't matter. You're not moving.
It's actually just a snowball.
Yep. It's a targeted snare.
Legacy still want to fight this thing.
Why are Direwolves starting this dragon? Claire finds them. Perfection might be caught. He actually gets out safely. Carbon going to dive in. The dragon goes to Direwolves, but he's going to pop the ulti as Carbon. Minky dives into the backline onto the carries. Huge damage there as Claire is going to pick out targets. King of Perfection far too low. Sharp is dying as well. Civil will fall. The front line's gone, and the Direwolves have to cut their losses.
They have to be careful here, Legacy. They are a bit dispersed between them, and they've got the assassination from Perfection.
Oh, Perfection dives in. Back in onto Claire. Dodges the wild cards, but can't dodge the whale.
And you can see the fact that Direwolves have dispersed themselves. They're actually looking to delay as long as possible.
Yep.
Nada trying his best to live.
He's going to die.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, all this time being bought does not stop Tallywhacker, who is shoving down the mid lane here. And Claire is going to start on the bottom. He breaks the base. King's going to go in. Looks for the famous 1v1. Can he get it? No, Minky going to ruin the party. Gets the kill.
Very smart from Tallywhacker. He knew he couldn't 1v1. King is super aggressive. He loves to take that. And the biggest issue is crit. Tallywhacker cannot 1v1 anyone when he's designed his build to team fight. So smartly allowing Minky Whale to get in there. King jumping forward aggressively. Signed his own fate.
Yep. Praise on his weakness there. Does a good job making sure Minky gets his 5th kill of the game. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, so it's just a super aggressive decision. Direwolves, they did know. It was almost desperation that they went for this dragon to try and deny that win condition from Legacy, or it's at least delayed by 6 minutes now. But the back line of Legacy, Claire and Tallywhacker sitting back killing people, whilst the front line of Legacy, Minky Whale, is still killing people. Is a very awkward team fight to be a part of if you were Direwolves.
And I feel like Hecarim is just so good against Direwolves. Because they play 2 threats all the time with Perfection and King, and Hecarim is very good at taking out one or sometimes both of those threats.
And that's exactly what we've seen happen multiple times here. It's also just, it's the anti-Direwolves threat in a way that for some particular reason, the top lane matchup just infinitely favors the Hecarim every single time.
And Sharp has been fine, honestly, the 2 times he's played against it this series, this game included, but Claire's had a great game. Tallywhack has just been free farming. You can see when Legacy play around their carries so well, unlock their carries at every stage. And Sybil's just face checking the Direwolves. They're going to go in. They need something here, but it might be a miracle they're looking for. Perfection going to finally join the fight, try and kill Minky Whale of all people. He will die. King is still alive, but Sharp's a little too low, and Claire going to clean house. No! Gets knocked up. Will get the kill. Zondi's at the last second. Perfection dives in and dies. And Nada barely lives. A 4-for-1 win for Legacy.
Claire going massive right there. You had to question why he was actually ulting on top of a Fizz, but uses the Zonias, manages to get knocked around a bit, but manages to keep himself alive. Legacy are looking to finish right now. They've got 4 members dead for 15 more seconds, 10 on Sharp.
Yeah, monstrous play there from Claire. Might just win Legacy the game. They've got good damage. The first tower is going to fall. We're going to chew through the next one here as well. Direwolves have to rush to defend their Nexus. I don't know if they've got enough time. Barely everyone's back alive. Legacy, they are going to finish it. They'll force their date with the Chiefs in the final. 3-1 over Direwolves.
Legacy coming up huge again in the 4th game. In what felt like uncomfortable terms for them. They get countered in laning phase, but their macro play, their micro play, all of the decision making that Legacy have made tonight is reflective of a team that has just grown in leaps and bounds this split. And what a team to take on the Chiefs as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to force famous rematch from last year. It's been a while since Legacy and Chiefs have played a best of 5 against each other. A lot has changed since Ejim has moved over to the Chiefs. Flying Jew has joined in, has been an amazing support player here. But the last time those 2 teams played, Legacy historically have had the Chiefs number in best of 5. So I think this is the grand final people would have hoped for, and it's going to be one hell of a showdown at Luna Park.
That's right. I cannot wait to see that final unfold. But congratulations again to Legacy, managing to have a convincing best of 5 series right there. They just went from strength to strength. Even in the game where they lost against the Direwolves just before, they managed to actually have these moments where they looked just phenomenal. And what I like about this the most is that last split, the Direwolves won 3-1.
Yep.
This split,
Legacy won 3-1.
Last split, the Direwolves beat them 2-0 in the split during the regular games.
This split?
Deja vu.
Yeah, deja vu indeed. These 2 teams continue battling back and forth. And that was with a sub there as well. Not to say that Claire is a bad player by any stretch. He had a great series. That last game especially, beautiful Twisted Fate play against perfection of all players.
Yeah, bringing out a Twisted Fate against perfection's almost insulting, but he makes it work so well, gets a lot of players off. That one big triple kill in the top lane cemented the difference between these two teams. And the entirety of that last game just felt like it was almost cemented in that one moment.
And the Legacy shot calling, Carbon and Flying Jew. The tag team, man, we talk about Chiefs all the time being a vision control team. They have some hot competition coming their way in about 2 weeks' time or less.
Definitely. I mean, it came down to all of the micro levels was just so in favor of Legacy. Their wave control, minion control, everything was just phenomenal.
Yeah, awesome to watch. Congratulations, Legacy. They do win 3-1, so let's throw out to Atlas to close out the evening.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. And what a victory by Legacy. Of course, dropping one game, but coming back strong in that final one. Of course, Carbon on that Nunu definitely getting some work done. And Tallywacker running around on that Kalista, just bouncing through everything. But this means that Legacy is going to meet the Chiefs at the OPL final on August 8th at Luna Park. It is going to be absolutely gigantic. Remember, guys, there is a free viewing area. So if you're around Sydney at all, make sure you come down and check out that action. It is going to be absolutely epic. Going to be completely ridiculous. So we are going to have a look at what our matchup is. And, of course, Chiefs are going to be taking on Legacy. They're in a best-of-5 series. And, look, this is going to be a rematch of Winter of Finals of 2014. And Legacy managed to take both of those. And we'll see whether they can stop the Chiefs' undefeated streak at the OPL final in order to get to wildcard. It will be gigantic. But that is going to be it for us tonight. On behalf of myself, of course, Spawn, Pastry Time, and Rusty, and our whole production crew, thank you so much, and we'll see you at Luna Park.